Hey there, I am with Seth Watson, the CEO and founder of Arete Pest Control, and today we're going to be talking about pest control in Alpharetta, Georgia. So, Seth, the first thing I want to ask you is, what are the most common pests in Alpharetta, Georgia?
Yeah, great question. Alpharetta has lots and lots of different pests. I would say the top pests you're going to deal with are probably ants and termites are the biggest pests. Now, depending on the type of season, right? When we get into fall, you're probably going to be dealing a lot more with spiders, some stink bugs, but ants and termites are prevalent all year round in Alpharetta, Georgia.
Okay, awesome. And I know something like termites can be super damaging. Can you talk on that a little bit and maybe potentially any stories in Alpharetta of, maybe some nightmares with termites?
Yeah, no, it's great question. Termites are kind of funny, right? Because a lot of people mistake ants for termites and vice versa, right? And so one of the biggest things about termites is that people don't understand is they actually live underground, right? And so
Mm,
it's hard to tell if you have termites or where they came from because they're subterranean, right? And so especially the termites they deal with in Alpharetta. It's an eastern subterranean termite, is what it's called. And so, in order for them to live, they have to have a certain moisture content on their skin. So, what they do is they will build mud tunnels that takes them from their nest up into your house. And so, they could come up from a crack in the foundation. They could come up through dirt underneath your siding where you don't see them. And the biggest problem is we find is it's too late by the time people realize, hey, I have termites, and then they're
mm.
replacing walls, sheetrock. Heavens forbid it's a supporting wall, right, that supports the structure. And so termites are a big problem, especially in Alpharetta, because the climate is perfect for it. We're in a hot, humid place where we don't get very cold during the winter months. And even during the winter months, they're still active. They just slow down a little bit. So yeah,
Okay,
termites
cool.
is a big problem in Alpharetta.
Okay. And what would be some common signs of termites? Like, can people, not pest control guys like you, normal people, be able to spot the signs of those, or do they need a pest control professional?
No, absolutely. You could spot some signs, right? So, obviously, a couple of things to look for, right? Again, is like I said, these mud tubes, they're about the size of a pencil. They'll usually run on the exterior of your home. That's a telltale sign. But again, if they're not coming up on the exterior foundation walls, then you're never going to be able to see them, right? So that's one thing to look for. One thing, if you look on your wall and you see bubbling of paint, a lot of times that's because you do have them behind the wall. So that's something that you would want to look for as well, is probably bubbling of paint or mud tubes on the exterior of the house.
Okay, awesome. And then what about ants? Are they super dangerous? Are they just kind of annoying? What's the problem with ants?
You know, ants are annoying more than they are dangerous. Now, if you get a fire ant, now those obviously can be very dangerous. Everyone has a different level that they're susceptible to bites from fire ants, right? We all react differently. Just like if I get a mosquito bite, it may be a bump, and Danny, you may swell up and really agitate and irritate your skin, right? Same thing
Hmm.
with a fire ant, right? Everyone acts differently. But no, yeah, fire ants can be very dangerous. You know, there's cases of kids dying from fire ants and elderly. But most of the time, no, you're not going to be worried that someone's gonna die from an ant bite. It's an annoyance. They can carry germs and diseases, right? So you want them off of your food and out of your house, but most of the time it's more of an annoyance than anything.
Yeah, okay, awesome. So if someone is looking for pest control, maybe they're dealing with ants or termites or whatever other pests in Alpharetta, how can they get in contact with you and your company?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can call us. You can look us up on our Google My Business or our website, aretepestcontrol.com. Fill out a form, give us a call. Any way that's easiest for you would be happy to help you out.